I know. I don't want to talk about the iPhone 15 already, but I don't make the rules. And you clicked, didn't you? So, here we are. Alright, so jumping right into this, story numero uno, we have a delectably analytical little analysis on the unannounced Apple iPhone 15 from the very regularly correct display industry analyst Ross Young. Try saying that 5 times fast. You can't. Ross tweeted out that he expects the dynamic island to become standard on iPhone 15, not being limited to just the Pro or Pro Max models like this year. But sadly, Ross says we shouldn't expect ProMotion or Always On Display to come to the base models, but that makes sense. And Ross's batting average is pretty good too. He accurately predicted that the iPhone 13 Pro and the most recent 14 and 16-inch MacBook Pro models would feature ProMotion, so at this point, if Ross says something about upcoming display tech, you can almost take that as a fact. This dude knows the display industry. Well, you can't win them all. Base model iPhone 15s don't need ProMotion anyway. And Grandma, well, she can't even see colors, let alone 120 hertz. If you caught my definitely not a review of the iPhone 14 Pro, I mentioned that the dynamic island is kind of the only thing going for the 14 Pro, and if you have a 12 Pro or a 13 Pro, it's not really worth upgrading to just get that one feature. If you're watching this video because you're struggling to make a decision on whether or not you want to upgrade your 13 Pro or even 12 Pro, shell out your money for this brand new shiny 14 Pro, I would say don't. Just wait till next year. So next year it is. You're going to get Dynamic Island on even the base model iPhones. So you'll be able to get that feature that you want without paying the Pro price. The Dynamic Island is so cute and pretty useful. They put so much work into the little bloopy animations and whatnot. Might as well use them again next year. Here, look at that little island boy just blooping around. Bloop. Bloop! Since the Dynamic Island, oh god, I hate saying that over and over. Since the Thing is one of the best and only new features of the iPhone 14 Pro line, Apple is really trying hard to make this thing make sense. And so far, they've done a pretty good job, except with the little sliver of screen on the top of the island that's more useless than my attempt to hide my big ol' forehead. Wait, what? Who wrote this shit? You like food, I like food, clearly, and when we want food, what do? We look up restaurants near us and check the reviews and make sure we're getting good stuff. Why don't we do the same thing for doctors? This episode is sponsored by ZocDoc. ZocDoc is a free app that shows you doctors who are patient-reviewed, take your insurance, and are available when you need them. Find every specialist under the sun, whether you're trying to straighten those teeth, fix an achy back, get that mole checked out, or anything else. I don't know your life. Go to ZocDoc.com/FPT and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then find the doctor that is right for you, book an appointment in person or remotely that works for your schedule. And many are available within 24 hours. Thanks to ZocDoc for sponsoring this episode. Alrighty, so story numero lasto. This is actually a follow-up story to a story that we did in the last... In the last proper episode of Fapata, we talked about an absolutely insane bug, or whatever this is, happening with certain iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max units where third-party apps like TikTok, Snapchat, and whatever else you use, you weirdo, were causing the rear cameras to grind and vibrate. And we sort of left you on a cliffhanger waiting for Apple's response. Well, my lovely lovers of tech, we finally received word from Timmy and friends through a spokesperson speaking to MacRumors. They said that an update was on the way to stop your iPhone 14 Pro cameras from being possessed by Satan, and we can expect the update to be available as early as next week. But Christmas came early, because the update actually didn't drop next week, it dropped yesterday, or the day before. I don't know, man, time is not real. Now, this is all well and good, but what the hell? Are you guys gonna give us any info to why these cameras just all of a sudden went nuts? And why in third-party apps only? Also, what about the iPhone 14 Pro or Pro Max devices that experienced this issue? We actually heard from a few sources that after your lenses freak out like this from the bug, it actually ends up affecting the iOS camera app with blurry and unfocused photos for a while after. Not to mention that after the OIS went crazy like this in these units, you can't tell me that there's no, like, long-term damage from this. Because, like, I don't know if you know this, but it is not supposed to do that. Okay. Good job, Apple, for getting this update out so soon. But, like, nothing? No further updates? You're not going to investigate this and let us know? These phones are expensive, and I don't want to wake up in the middle of the night with my iPhone 14 Pro cooking me eggs at 3 in the morning because I recorded a TikTok earlier. Know what I mean?